made some sugar-free cheese roll cake.
Sure, I can run this errand for you. Just look after my workshop and don't let anyone in!
That's new. Can you assign more people for me?
I kinda wonder when the next Eternal Nightmare will be. The highlights of the Eternal Nightmares for me are always the free A ranks that come associated with them. Since the A ranks they release are never really all that associated or relevant to the Eternal Nightmare. They're allowed to just be their own standalone story, and I think they're some of the best stories and characters Path to Nowhere's world has to offer. Zephyr, I think, is an A rank from introduced from an Eternal Nightmare, and I really enjoyed her story.
I'll go prepare the campfire. We have a new client tomorrow, and if you catch a cold...
500. What? So, do you like my gift? Any fun plans for the weekend? Okay, my voice for her is a little too similar to what I have for Susie. But sure, she's Susie now. How does General have this much free time? Some of us are chained to our desks. You get to relax. I get to burn the midnight oil. What a weird saying. Something that I suppose managed to endure through the medieval times. Or maybe it's a saying that was made recently. And it's people who want to feel old-timey. After all we've been through, you still don't see it? Life can end in an instant. That's not a reason to hide in your office. It's a reason to live. Especially for a workaholic like you. You might just drop dead from exhaustion one day, who knows? Thanks to the endurance training from your unit, I'm good for a few more all-nighters. Now if you'll excuse me, duty calls. Pushing me off like that, could it be? Could it be you're sulking because I was the one who pulled little Hella out of the black ring, stealing your heroic moment? Don't take it to heart. After all, in this world, the strong call the shot. Even the most durable device has its limits, Chief. And with reconstruction costs being what they are, our budgets for replacements isn't quite what it used to be. I'd advise taking good care of this one. It's about to become extremely useful. It's good to see you in one piece, but you don't just drop by for a chat at a time like this. What's wrong? You always did cut straight to the heart of the matter. You're correct. A concerning situation is developing within the city-state. The Ninth Agency is preoccupied with external threats, leaving us stretched too thin to address it properly. So, I've come to seek your counsel, and if I may be so bold to ask you to leverage your unique rapport with a certain individual. You mean General Augustus? Naturally, I'm referring to the most prominent, politically sensitive, and frankly sleep-depriving figure right now, General Augustus. Why wouldn't they? As you know, the General promised to return to Nirvana Porth to regroup and await further orders. The agreed-upon deadline, however, has come and gone, with no sign of her departure. Her troops are still here. What's more, she's using her victory as political capital, maneuvering through every sector of the city, expanding her influence. Her intentions are unclear. Augustus is bold, I'll give her that, maybe even flashy. She's always been straightforward with me. Is that really how the Ninth Agency sees her? Or is this the view from higher up? Are you telling me she's being labeled a threat? That you think she's making a power grab? Chief, you must understand. Compared to the long history she has written, your time with her has been but a brief chapter. What is this? Every detail there's a verifiable fact, a matter of historical record. We fabricated nothing. This course were vital allies in our recent fight, that is true. But it seems the General has not entirely left her shadowed past behind. She is playing a deeper game. The General holds a unique interest in you. We need you to use that. Learn what she's truly planning. If our concerns are misplaced, then we will all rest easier. But if they are not, then this city may face a threat far more dangerous than anything the Outlands could muster. We're going straight into the... Yup, we sure are. Hilarious. Do you go out dressed like that? What happened to the fucking dress you usually take with you? So this is where you finally decide to ask me after playing hard to get for so long. Charming. Off the battlefield, your sense of decorum is remarkably flexible. Thank you for accepting MBCC's invitation, General Augustus. This isn't a formal interrogation, just a routine inquiry. Since you've been at White Sands for years, you're likely unaware of the recent policy changes in this city. Being a sinner is no longer a crime. Pass our psychological and ability assessments, get an MBCC safety certification, and you can move freely in public. You'll have the full rights of any citizen. Acceptable. Not much different from how things are now. Well then, let's see what the Chief of Minos can do with a suspect like me. The rumors flying about you are fascinating. Piss. Internet's been a little funky as of late. Isn't this this city? All my family's mansions and estates are here. Am I not allowed to come home? Or is a general not permitted to take a vacation? You're bringing an entire military unit and calling it a vacation? My troops have weathered storms for years and just won a war. They deserve to enjoy the peace. Is there a problem with a commander looking after her own? The places you've been visiting are suspicious. Is there a problem with my social calendar? Does our austere chief find my taste in associates too lavish? I have friends who brief me on these people. I know their backgrounds. By associating with them, you're only tarnishing your own reputation. Oh, and was that your friend, the speaker, who told you that? Or perhaps the friend who happens to be the former speaker's illegitimate daughter? Is the president called the speaker because China has something against democracy or something? I don't know. I don't know enough about China, nor do I really care. Who my sources are isn't the point. What are you playing at, Augustus? What do you think? You've investigated me so thoroughly. Or perhaps your real interest isn't in me at all, but in the discourse standing behind me. Go on then. Tell me what you've uncovered. After this city's independence, your faction rode the momentum of the Independence War to an overwhelming election victory. Within 2 years, you'd pacified these satellite towns, bringing security and prosperity to the entire periphery. But soon after, the Discord under Draven's command twisted. He'd waged brutal campaigns abroad while enforcing an iron grip at home. He led the city into a long, dark era. And what does that history lesson have to do with me? Didn't your files mention I was asleep for most of it? You were close to Draven. The records are clear. He gave you medals and promotions outside the chain of command. He personally led you into battle, and rumors suggest he was grooming you as his successor. To treat your war-induced mania intensification, he personally ordered Edge to develop cryosleep technology, all to ensure you would survive until a cure could be found. That man is regarded as the greatest dictator in this city's history. A figure who's still controversial today. And you were like a daughter to him. Are you saying you knew nothing about what he was doing? That you have no responsibility for it? Like a daughter. Ha! If that old grouch heard you say that, he'd be spinning on his grave. Go on. I'm listening. Marshal Draven's prestige from the Independence War gave him immense power, but that power corrupted him. It concentrated in his hands until he became a tyrant. By the end of his first term, slow reconstruction was turning people against him. Facing electoral defeat, he refused to step down. He rigged the vote and forced his way back into office, becoming the longest ruling dictator in this city's history. His solution to internal strife was external war. He plundered abroad and crushed dissent at home. Corruption was rampant. The city-state kept rotting, until the Dis-C explosion in NF-84 finally forced his hand. Continue. After the explosion, the Black Ring returned. Mania catastrophes were everywhere. Draven had no choice but to cooperate with Edge. He ceded authority, merged the military into the FAC, a united front against the Mania. He stepped down as Speaker to become the FAC's first Commander-in-Chief. The title changed, but his grip and power didn't. Not until the Eclipse operation. Jesus Christ, this is pretty loud. Failed in NF-103. After that disaster, with public outrage and the FAC broken, the Marshal finally fell. He died in bitterness and obscurity. That's the official record. The rumor is he couldn't live with his failure, but he took his own life. And you woke up in NF-103 after Draven's death, when Edge appointed Adrian Sterling as the new Commander-in-Chief. You refused his orders. You took a faction of Discord and left the city. Been a long time since anyone has recounted this story to me. Go on. What are you trying to accomplish by coming back now? Are you afraid of me? Everyone is. Huh, you should be, girl. Do you really think I can't do anything just because we're on your turf? Your pathetic security system can't even detect a killing intent this clear. Curious. Let me give you a demonstration of how we used to handle interrogations back in the tyrannical Discord era. Oh great, the turntables. I've completed my registration. I haven't misused my powers. By the book, you have no grounds to interrogate me. Besides, you've been too busy to see me. So why the sudden change of heart? Your recent behavior has raised concerns. After a victory, a lot of dubious elements have resurfaced. Instead of keeping your distance, you're meeting with them. People are naturally questioning your intentions. Oh, and what does that have to do with you? Didn't you solemnly declare you'd only fight Mania and only go to Mania battlefields? It's only been a few days and now you're dabbling in political scandals again. Oh yeah, I fucking love this song. Some reliable people are concerned about your intentions. They asked me to look into it. They told you quite a bit, didn't they? Be careful around me, to stay away, or perhaps to deliver a warning. Who told you to probe me like this? How did the person who gave you this mission describe me? Rebel, usurper, thug, heir to a dictator, returning aspirant. What else? And did he tell you this? The second commander of the Independence Army, the first democratically elected speaker, the first FAC commander-in-chief, Marshal Draven Steele, did not commit suicide. He was killed by his most trusted subordinate. These ambitious jackals waited until the old Marshal was in his twilight years, then made their move to seize his fading power. They delivered the final blow to the already weakened FAC, ensuring it would become nothing more than Edge's puppet. What? They left that part out, didn't they? Good. Then you should hear it from me, and we can discuss other things too. Like what we really did. To our own people. To others. Not just numbers in a report. The real stories. The kind they'd never dare mention now during this city's glorious triumph. It's far too shameful. If you want to talk, then tell me this. Why do treasonous irredeemable remnants of the Discord have such close ties with the current Commander-in-Chief? Back in NF-103, when the FAC was at its weakest, why didn't your arrogant and disloyal faction, you included, seize power? And who had the strength to exile you all? And what were you really angry about just now? This mission. What are you using me to fight against? Chief! General Augustus, this is a serious misunderstanding. Please allow me to explain. I must say, I never imagined this city would treat a victorious general like this. What's the saying? Kill the goose that lays the golden eggs? Though, your chief here has no way to restrain me. You have my sincere apologies. The Ninth Agency inadvertently implicated you during their investigation into the Siege Society. There have been individuals with ulterior motives attempting to approach you since your victory. Our intention was only to advise caution. However, a person of significant authority has vouched for you. All official suspicions have been cleared. We only need to complete some paperwork to formally restore your freedom. It's that little spider. Too busy to keep tabs on me personally this time. Wow. What do you mean cleared? My interrogation isn't finished. This is far from over. And who exactly vouched for her? It means someone in higher places wants to stand behind me and ride the wave of my success. Well, I suppose I should humor them. My apologies for my apologies for misunderstanding you. It's been a complicated time. I may have been on edge. I hope I didn't frighten you. Perfect timing. I have a banquet to attend. You should join me. Consider it my way of making amends. I'll even let you get a good whiff of the scent of power. After all, weren't you ordered to keep a close eye on me? God, Augustus is a pain in the ass to voice. Chief is already a pain in the ass to voice. Women are hard to voice if you're a dude. Obviously, the opposite is also true. But a woman with a deep voice is particularly hard, especially considering my voice is very Filipino for a male. In nature. And male Filipinos don't have the best voice. But that's my opinion, I suppose. A questionable assumption at best. You're early. Excited, aren't you? It's Catherine. We went over this last night. Your hair's come loose again. Just giving the fools a little show. Don't you think their reactions are amusing? General, your presence truly honors this gathering. And of course, your esteemed companion as well. I have a treasured vintage, imported from the Campbell estate. Might it be to your taste? A bit too dry for me. I prefer something sweeter. Of course, right away. And you, Chief of the MBCC, any preferences? I must say I never dreamed both heroes of our city-state would grace us with their presence tonight. It's an immense honor. Please accept my personal gratitude. You're as accommodating as ever, but our little Shie doesn't drink this kind of stuff. Let's talk about something else. If I recall, you invited me here to discuss something important. Something about my garrison. Well, I had hoped to be better prepared to discuss this in the privacy of your residence. And since Chief Shie is honoring us for the first time, surely there are more interesting diversions. A collection room or a gallery. Should I call you a coward or just blind? Can't you see? Chief Shie came here with me. That makes this person no outsider. And I don't appreciate that kind of treatment. Oh, of course. How foolish of me. You two are steadfast allies, comrades who have faced death together. That makes you both my honored friends. Please, right this way. General Augustus and Chief Shie. I am Cerny. As for my background, let's just say it's not the most important detail tonight. What is important is the word on the street. General Augustus's troops are still lodged in a hotel. The finest hotel in East Side. Naturally, the wealth of the Andohar family is truly remarkable. However, for a distinguished hero of this city-state to lack a proper garrison within our own walls, it would make this city a laughingstock if word got out. Well then, enlighten me. Where do you believe the discourse new garrison should be established? The FAC was fundamentally built around the Discord integrating numerous other departments, and there's no question that you and your Shattered Blade are the rightful heirs to that legacy. You never should have been separate entities to begin with. We are at war now. The FAC can no longer confine itself to internal affairs. If your forces were to fight side by side, with close coordination, it would tremendously enhance the security of our entire city-state. That's not for you to decide, is it? It's not my decision alone, but the will of the people, calling for era. These are extraordinary times. This city needs a wartime leader to guide us all and usher in a new age. The commander has grown old, set in his ways. I believe there is no one in all of this city more suited to the role than you. The business sector, the city council, and even certain voices from Paradisos all want you to step forward. Or at the very least, have your forces take a definitive position on the garrison. Should you show interest, many would eagerly clear the path for you. Well then, I thank you both for your consideration. Oh boy. assuming the entire history of Path to Nowhere's world is nothing similar. Y'all know about all the economic regressions we've gone through, all the bubbles bursting. There's one more small matter. It's just that recently, the speaker and that ninth agency have been talking about investigating asset transfers, outland dealings. How should I put this? Don't you think they're going a bit too far? Not all financial transactions are suspicious. Some are just delayed settlements. If this continues, innocent people will be caught in the crossfire. The war's over. We should be unified, not creating division. All I'm saying is, it's probably just the calm before the storm that is a sequel far worse than any could ever wish for. All it takes is a single sniper to the head for one nice little speaker in a little rendezvous with his wife or something. Holy shit, he doesn't have a first woman. I just realized. You'll have to ask my dear chief about that. The Euphoria investigation was her initiative after all. Better stay on her good side, Thank you so very much. Well, I've enjoyed myself long enough. I still have somewhere to be with my dear Chie for the second round. Huh? Leaving so soon? But we still have so much to discuss about the garrison. I said it's long enough. It's such a lovely evening. I want to show her my private collection. Sorry, but this time I wanted it to be just the two of us. Jesus fucking Christ. Whew. Remind me, who was that person again? A key figure in the council's conservative faction. Wilton Stewart, distant relative of the former speaker. And the other one, Cerny, seems to have connections that could help you stir the pot with the FAC. They're trying to provoke you into seizing FAC territory for a garrison station, and using the opportunity to usurp power and expand your influence. Oh, right. See, bringing you along was a brilliant move. Very clever. Make a note of them. Are you sure? Okay, yeah, to be fair, the fact that they were still willing to try to promote their agendas is very much a blunder. Making a check move like that? What do you call it when you do a pre-move? Acting on a pre-move like that? No idea you enjoyed these kinds of events. Is the second round going to have the same stench? Don't you find it all to be a bit disgusting? Not at all. I come from a military arms dynasty. I've been used to it since I was a child. Wherever there's money and power, people will always claw their way in. So much naked ambition in one place. Of course it feels dirty to you. But as you climb higher, your world will only get more crowded. So much praise and flattery, so many schemes and desires, especially here in this city. You'll be put on a pedestal and constantly subjected to the worst of human nature. Better get used to it now, build up your immunity. I'd hate to see the day our noble chief gives in to temptation and is racked with guilt over it. Or you could do what I like to do and just pretend it doesn't exist. Stay far away from it. How do you expect to change the world while avoiding the battlefield? Besides, you can't escape anyway. You've had a long night. Let me take you home. Oh boy. There's a lot of chatter in the city-state about Augustus talking over the FAC and restructuring the military. Chief, what's your take? Is it even feasible? Credible? No comment. Really? Your department works with both sides more than almost anyone. Any shakeup would land directly on your doorstep. You can't tell me you're not concerned. Or is it an uncomfortable topic, given your close relationship with General Augustus? What are you implying? Sorry, I mean no offense. It's just, when people see you two at the banquet together last night, they'll talk. It's only natural. You need to check the recording real quick. Good. And that obvious favor she shows you, that's a significant opportunity, isn't it? Look, setting aside the historical baggage and just focusing on power, the city-state is desperate for military strength right now. Combat departments are on the rise. They've been held back by the FAC's bureaucracy. But this could be a chance to reshuffle the entire deck. Right now, General Augustus is in a league of her own. He's the talent the city-state needs, and the one most likely to claim the largest piece of the post-war pie. Playing with the right faction and you catch the prevailing wind. You're not just reshuffling the deck here, you're making an entirely new one. With new cards released from a recent booster pack that came out of nowhere with no surprise, with no reveals or news. Oops, I forgot to read that one out loud. The only question is her next move. Chief, given your rapport with her, have you heard any whispers about her plans or... Back off. The mind games you play with her won't work on me. You want to use the post-war chaos and her momentum to dismantle the FAC, don't you? Start at the garrison, send a signal, slowly encroach. You see her ambition as a lever you can pull, luring her into your web. Let me be clear. I may be fortunate enough to have her attention, but I will never support her seizing power. I'll stand in her way. It's what a real friend would do. It's a big relief. You really are as upright and trustworthy as he described. I apologize, Chief. That was a test. The current political climate is dangerous. Had you shown even the slightest agreement with my earlier suggestions, I would have had to end this conversation here. But now I'm beyond glad to see we share the same objective. We must firmly oppose this regression. Augustus has to be stopped. And I want to read I Favor the Villainess again. I've been longing to find another political intrigue story as interesting as that. But surprisingly, it's hard to find well-written political stories. That's Nowhere's close, but honestly, it's too much of a mess with its factions. Not because they're overcomplicated, but because they're under-elaborated. FAC, Ninth Agency, Farlands, Underground, a lot of factions Edge and Paradisos as well, which I had confused as being the exact same faction for a while. You're fond of my right ear this time, huh? I have a mosquito as a fucking roommate now. It enjoys buzzing on my right ear, or on my left ear. But right now it seems to be on my right ear. Been a while since I heard from my roommate. Mosquitoes are genuine scum of the earth. I won't hesitate to kill it if it tries to actually attack me, or bite me, or suck my blood. Give me dengue or AIDS or whatever the fuck they give. Whatever fucking bacteria clings onto them. Admittedly, that is very true. Adrian Andrews? Whoa, new background. That's a lot of very similar looking cars. What the fuck? Very. Of course, I knew that guy was fucking sus. And Dohar. I hope little Evie's alright. That we're only halfway through, Jesus Christ. Max King has a point here. Wow. They really are doing nothing. Oh boy. Commander. What the fuck? Just small bunches of metal, but enough. Nice. Holy shit, Rise would be really happy to see this. Or Rise, rather. Fuck. Persona. From Edge! Shalom! Nice. She may as well be called Damocles now. I think it's a miracle this was even published in this city, let alone be allowed to be republished with a re-edit. A friendly reminder, this is a fictional story. Fuck.
we amplified. Sears like curses into stone. Lay my soul in grinding stone. Let the trial claim its toll. This proving ground sounds like hole at my gate. We carve the walls with every dying man's prayer. No seeds will grow in empty shells. Down this road we shatter. Is now a warning on the wall. Every lie we amplify. Those marble hands of the past, the broken kings, tangled bound to fall apart. Dear, this mind's out, blown through the shattered heart. I took a vow to break the throne of stars. May our grandest dream be blessed. The blood that prophets guillotine.
Kiss. Sure, may as well then.
Yes, alright. Okay.
That was really good. Holy shit, words cannot describe. Political intrigue is where it's at, man. It's where the best, or at least my most favorite stories are told. Only thing missing was romance, I suppose, but there's always I favor the villainess for that. I don't think that will be topped anytime soon in my lifetime. Similarly enough to Hypatia, I guess in this case though, I did hold off, and I realized now that I was missing out on quite a bit. Although it didn't take that long for me to finally bite the bullet, I suppose. I like Path to Nowhere because it tells its stories efficiently and quickly, unlike Genshin Impact. This story, however, was very long, but once again, it was still very efficient, and now it has me feeling like we've been missing out on longer stories. So many stories, so many interrogations I feel could have been longer. And Augustus is the first to show me that, yeah, there's definitely a lot of bias here. It's very clear. Path to Nowhere writers really enjoyed Augustus as a character. As for me though, again, I can't shake my first impression of her. She was there solely to steal the spotlight of the character who I believe should have gotten the spotlight, which was Necresta Hela. So I'm still very upset about that. But at the very least, I concede to the fact that she is a very good character. I just wish she gave my little Hela a chance to shine. So she went through all that trouble, and it feels like she never got rewarded. There was never a payoff. Maybe there'll still be a chance for her to shine, be it in an event or a main story, I'm hoping, but with the way gacha games treat their characters, I find that highly unlikely. Hela being given a chance to even shine in the first place is already pretty rare for gachas. Gachas are always moving forward with the next character for you to fawn over. The fact that they gave Hela so much love for as long as they did in the main story is a miracle in and of itself, alongside Hecate. Giving her a second wind. This turning into Hela more than it is about Augustus again. Anyway, it was great, but I'm gonna go have dinner now. Sorry I stopped the voice acting. That was a lot. Look at this recording. It's almost 2 hours worth of content. I don't think my throat could have survived all of that. I was already tapped out by 30 minutes because, like I said, voicing deep-voiced women are the hardest for me. I'd rather, like, go off screechy with a big, cute, kawaii voice. Okay, that was terrible. For an hour than voicing someone with a deep voice like the Chief and Augustus.